In this video, filtration, filtration, and filtration. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks again for tuning in. In the previous video, I took you through how I set up my aquarium lighting, plumbing, and filter system. That's the second part of my aquarium build series. If you haven't watched that, please go ahead and check it out. First off, mechanical filtration. There are several types of mechanical filtration, the most common being the foam filter. Here I have foams of 4 different densities: coarse foam, medium foam, fine foam, and ultrafine foam. Each of them will trap dirt and muck of different sizes. It's important to filter your water thoroughly before it reaches your biological and chemical medias. This is to ensure that those medias do not get clogged up. Here I'm measuring the filter drawers and cutting the foam to size. Rinse and repeat for the rest of the foam filters. Here I'm placing 2 foam filters in each of the drawers. The idea is to have the water flow through the coarse, medium, fine, then ultrafine foam, each layer trapping debris of decreasing sizes. Here are the foam filters in action when the pump is turned on. As you can see, the water flows through the first 2 foams, which are the coarse and the medium foams, but it doesn't flow through the next 2 foams, the fine and the ultrafine. And the water overflows over the sides of the drawer. I found out that the ultra-fine foam was the issue, so I removed it and went with a 3 foam filter in the top drawer. Here I'm installing the UV lamp at the bottom of the drip box filter. It's made by Sunsun and rated at 11 watts. UV light is primarily used to tackle algae, or algae as we say it in Singapore, but I'm sure it also helps burn off certain types of bacteria as well. To secure the top trim to the tank, I'm using regular mounting tape. Both the top and bottom trims come with 4 sides, but I didn't install the back trims. This is because I needed the space between the wall to run my water change plumbing. I will give an update on this in the next video. For my tank, the biological filter media I went with is Biohome Ultimate. This is the brainchild of Richard Thew from the Pondguru YouTube channel. I've interacted with Richard several times before, and he's always helpful in suggesting filtration setups and ideas. I'll leave a link in the description to his channel and website if you choose to learn more about Biohome Ultimate. I ordered 14 kilograms of Biohome Ultimate along with some bacteria balls. These bacteria balls contain live bacteria, which help to set up the new media quickly. The number 1 mistake of aquarium hobbyists is to immediately stock their tanks, i.e., put fish into their newly set up aquarium before their filter medias are matured enough to handle the bio load. This is called the new tank syndrome, which usually leads to a complete wipeout of all the fish. There is a lot of information out there about the nitrogen cycle. I might make a video on this if I have the time, but do research on it thoroughly before purchasing your fish. Back to the drip box filter setup. I have a total of 32 containers to house the Biohome Ultimate Media, which by weight is approximately 440 grams each. Here I'm using a food scale to measure each container. As mentioned in the previous video, some of the containers are drip-through and some of them are sump-like. The drip-through containers have holes in the bottom. This means water level remains low and the media is not submerged. The water will drip through these holes over the medias below. The sump-like containers do not have holes in the bottom. Rather, they have an overflow at the side. The water level remains high and the media submerged. This mimics a sump filter, which I will talk more about at the end of this video. There are many different types of filtration options available, each having their own pros and cons. I will see about making a video on the popular types in the market. The main pro of the drip box filter I feel are the ease of maintenance and relatively low cost. The main cons are usually the limited volume available to house media, and they are not the most aesthetically pleasing. Having both submerged and non-submerged media means different strains of beneficial bacteria can be cultivated. And this translates to an overall more efficient filtration system. This is why I like this particular version of drip box filter. Whereas the traditional drip box filter only has drip-through containers and not the sump-like containers. There is a common misconception that you can have too much filtration. I believe that maximum is limited only to how comfortable your fish can handle the flow and turnover rate. And equally important to filtration, I feel, is water balance, that your water parameters do not fluctuate too drastically. The water conditioner I'm using is Nutrafin Aqua Plus. No particular reason why I chose this over the other popular brands, each having their own claims to condition tap water and protect fish differently. Here I'm conditioning the water to be used for rinsing the Biohome Ultimate Media. As the media is very porous and absorbs water very well, I wanted to make sure the water it absorbs is free from chlorine and chloramine, for any traces of them would slow down the beneficial bacteria setup time. Whichever media you go with, make sure you thoroughly rinse them before using, as there will be a lot of sediments that dislodge on the first use. We want our filters to filter fish waste, not filter waste. And finally, completing the drip box filter setup. Sump-like containers are at the bottom two levels, drip-through containers above them, and the foam filter for mechanical filtration at the top. I'm not using any chemical filtration for my aquarium setup. Those usually come in the form of activated carbon and will absorb toxins and smells from the water. But they must be replaced very frequently to avoid the toxins from leaking back into the water when they are fully absorbed. Chemical filtration is particularly useful when removing medication from the water. This is the completed drip box filter setup. I had earlier removed the first batch of aquarium water which I filled to do the water test and filter plumbing test. That batch of water had many sediments and impurities from the initial tank build and running of the pumps and filters. Here I'm filling the tank back up again. This time is to run the filter until the medias are matured and beneficial bacteria has set up shop in the medias. I will add the recommended dosage of water conditioner, which is 10 milliliters per 38 liters of tap water, to remove both chlorine and chloramine. When I switch on the pumps, some of the water is now contained in the filter containers. The water level drops and I use a ruler to measure the height. This allows me to estimate the amount of water in the filter. Let's take a look at the flow of water for this drip box filter setup. Water is pumped up and flows out of the spray bar at the top. It then goes through 3 layers of foam filters, coarse, medium and fine. Then drips down over the first and second level of Biohome Ultimate Media. As you can see, the water level in these 2 first layers are very low. When it reaches the 3rd level, the media is completely submerged and has a sump overflow to the right, which brings the water down to the 4th level and again submerged, sump overflow to the left. The water will pass through the filter base where the UV lamp is and finally down and back into the tank. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found something useful for your own filtration setup. In the next video, I'll take you through how I design and build a cover for the drip box filter. Alright, see you in the next video.